All right, good morning, everybody. This is Fantasy Football Live with the Fantasy Sports Boss. This is it, Fantasy Football Championship Week. Unbelievable. We're actually here now, week 17. It's been a long journey, frustrating journey for sure, for all of us at some point. But for those who are still alive in their leagues, myself included, this is what it's all about. Taking home the league championship this week and securing, the coveted league title and the winnings and the bragging rights and everything that goes along with it. So, definitely a lot at stake today. A lot of stress too. I know for myself, trying to bring home a league championship is quite stressful throughout the course of the season. But of course, this week, if you come up on the short end of the stick, then you wind up second guessing yourself throughout the course of the off season. So, there's a lot at stake for all of us today. So again, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. This is the last football Sunday stream for the regular season, but they're still going to be streaming throughout the course of the off season. Discussing all of the free agency moves, the NFL draft. Can go very heavy on the NFL draft. So if you're an NFL draft Nick like I am, make sure you continue to tune in because there will be live streams throughout the course of the week. So make sure you join me for those. Really wild college football games yesterday. The semifinals lived up to the hype, especially that TCU upset of Michigan. Max Duggan, the quarterback for TCU, certainly solidified himself as a mid-round draft pick. C.J. Stroud of Ohio State, even though he came up short through four touchdown passes in a near upset of Georgia, solidified his status, in my opinion, as a top 3 pick in the upcoming draft. But we'll have plenty of time to dive into the draft as we get closer to that. Certainly a lot going on in the football world today. So the injury report is going to be updated momentarily. And, like I've said from the very beginning, with week 17, you just can't leave anything to chance. You got to look for any sort of advantage you can. That's why this morning I recommended picking up the New York Giants defense, widely available defense that gets the Indianapolis Colts this week. Giants have been racking up the sacks over the last month. They have Nick Foles, who's just a complete statue in the pocket. Lots of turnovers for the Colts, just been a disaster all season for them, have dragged down Michael Pittman, have dragged down Jonathan Taylor. All the key pieces on that team just disappointed this season. And anybody who drafted either one of those guys likely not alive in their fantasy football championship today. So again, I'm going to take some questions. As always, Tony was first in. Happy New Year, Tony. PPR, K9, Monty, or more. I would say more because I think that the Panthers are going to have to open it up today against Tampa Bay. A lot on the line there. Moore has been very good of late, so I would go with more in that one. K9's got the Jets defense, that front four with Keenan Williams is just an impenetrable wall. So and he doesn't do much in the receiving game, so I'm not high on him. And I don't like Monty in general. Herbert's back. I know it's a very high over-under total there, but I like DJ Moore just slightly more than Monty. Justin Engelman, hey boss, man, Njoku or Andrews. Man, I got to go Njoku. I mean, we still keep waiting for Andrews. If it was any other player, he probably would have been dropped by now. Over the last month or so, he's been so bad. But I would have to say Njoku. And guys, I'm sorry about the quality. The sun angle on the window behind me is making it look really dark. I apologize for that. Hopefully that gets a little bit better. And also, sorry for the lack of streams lately, but with the holidays and everything, got a little crazy here. So I apologize for that. But like I said, there's going to be plenty of streams throughout the course of the off season too. So make sure you don't go anywhere. And there's also going to be wrap-ups. I'm going to be doing wrap-up separate videos on almost all the key players. So like, for example, let's talk about Dalvin Cook. I'll rehash Dalvin Cook's season, go through the numbers, whether he was a disappointment or not, and then project him going forward for next season. So the work is never done when it comes to fantasy football, especially if you're a diehard fan, hardcore fan in high-stakes leagues. You got to scout this stuff throughout the course of the offseason and be ready for next season. All right, Dotson or Chark? I'm definitely going Chark there. There's no doubt about it there. You want to have all of the pass receivers in Detroit and Chicago, Cole Kmet, DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You want to have them all in the lineups today because there's going to be a lot of points. Now, the reason why I put up Justin Fields, Jared Goff in the poll is because those are the two quarterbacks I'm choosing between in my championship this week. So I have Fields in there. My opponent has Cole Kmet, which I'm not too keen on because it's a PPR league. So, when a quarterback in a PPR league throws to a receiver, the receiver winds up getting more points. But I just feel like with Fields able to gain points on the ground and through the air, something Goff's not capable of doing. I'm going to go with Fields, but I was curious to see what you guys decided, and it looks like Fields is winning this poll fairly easily so far. Would you start Greg Dortch over DK Metcalf? Oh, man, that's tough, Aaron. David Blau is the quarterback. I mean, I just don't know if I could trust that. I still would go Metcalf. You know, if you lose, Aaron, with DK Metcalf on your bench, you're going to be kicking yourself the entire offseason. Now, I know the Jets cornerbacks are excellent. They do not rotate Sauce Gardner all over the field. So he could be with Lockett. He could be with Neff. If they move Metcalf around, that will get him away from Sauce Gardner. And I think the Seahawks are going to do that. I can't trust Greg Dortch over DK Metcalf in a championship. And if I lose, you know, if Dortch winds up putting up more points than Metcalf, so be it. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. There's certain risks I'm willing to take, but not that one. Swift, Jamal Williams, or Foreman. Oh, Foreman. I'm going Foreman, definitely. Again, that Jets front four the Chicago front four has been playing better lately. But Foreman has been very hot. The Bears, when it comes to the Bears, the defense, the secondary is a joke. So I think that they're going to really be airing it out, Jared Goff and company there. I think Foreman has been really, really good. He's going to be the goal line back. You know, with Swift and Jamal Williams, I know Chicago, overall the defense is not great, but I just trust Foreman more than I trust the other two. But it's close. I honestly, it's really between Swift and Foreman. Jamal Williams has really fallen off of late. I think the amount of carries he's gotten this season have taken a toll on him. So I'm still going a slight lean to Foreman. Who should I start my flex? Amari Cooper, Christian Watson, or Lockett. I don't think Watson's playing. So I'm going to go Cooper because, again, Lockett's got the Jets. Not 100%. I mean, he's 13 days out from surgery, so I'm not feeling too good about that. Christian Watson, if he plays, he's going to be on a snap count. I don't think he's playing. You got to go with Amari Cooper. But, man, how bad is Deshaun Watson, man? I was looking at my options or maybe benching Jacobs. My options is Royce Freeman, or I could start one of my reserve, my wide receivers, Godwin, Chark, Gage, Cooper. Would you bench one of those? I wouldn't play Royce Freeman. That's for sure. I think Jacobs could get a lot of dump-off passes. That's the one thing. And what a shitstorm that is with the Raiders, benching Derek Carr. I understand there's a financial aspect to it, of benching him so that, if he gets hurt. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And again, I didn't say it at the top of the show, guys. Happy New Year to everybody. But getting back to the Raiders situation, I think it's a travesty what they did to Derek Carr. He's been the heart and soul of this team. Always guts out injuries, plays every week, dependable. I know he's thrown a lot of interceptions this season, but he was not the problem. Josh McDaniels, who never should have been hired in the first place. All right, so Ramondre Stevenson is officially active. Just wanted to pass that along. So that just came down. Ramondre Stevenson is active for the Patriots. I have him in my league. Man, it was rough. He almost cost me my semifinal last week. That was just ridiculous. How bad he played with the fumble and everything. But I'm going back to him because I really don't have any choice. It's him and playoff Lenny that I'm going to be rolling with in my two running back spots this week. But anyway, getting back to your question, Zamora, I think you got to go with Jacobs. All right, so let me see. I'm falling a little bit behind. Chat's moving a little fast. I'll stick with Metcalf. Yes, I would stick with Metcalf for sure. PPR, K9 Monty. Oh, Tony, I said DJ Moore you should go with. Jags or Giants D? I'd say the Giants D. Nick Foles is a sitting duck. And Happy New Year, Showtime. I think the Giants D is the way to go for sure. All right, so Tua Tagovailoa, we know he's out. And that is a really, really bad situation. Jadeveon Clowney active for the Browns today for their defense, if you have their defense. DeAndre Hopkins inactive as we knew coming in. And, even if Chris Olave is active, even if Hopkins played, I wouldn't have him in there just because David Blau now at quarterback, they're down to their fourth quarterback there. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Evan McPherson, a good starter kicker. Yes, Evan McPherson's always a good starter kicker. What was I talking? Oh, Tua. So this is just like a beyond. I know Miami wasn't found to be negligent in handling Tua on Christmas Day when he banged his head on the turf and suffered another concussion. We're not going to see him the rest of the season, even if they make the playoffs. And you know what? His future, I think, could be at least debated because of how many he's had 3 concussions already this season. He had that really scary situation. Jerry Jeudy is active, by the way. So Jerry Jeudy is active as well. So is Marshawn Lattimore. Really scary situation with Tua Tagovailoa this season. And, even his brother before his bowl game was talking about how, it is a concern. The family's concerned. All these concussions. I don't think Miami's handled it correctly. Tua has a history of getting hurt. He's not the biggest quarterback. So it's definitely something that's going to need to be monitored going into the offseason. Cousins or Lawrence? I would say Cousins, because I still have this nagging suspicion the Jags are going to shut it down in the second half. They may not bench everybody, but they might be just running the football. Tony, you're good. No problem. So Chase Claypool is active today. Trevor Lawrence active. Hunter Henry is active as well. Julio Jones is active. No Jalen Hurts. Carlton Davis, Xavier Howard, Terron Armstead, Bradley Chubb. So those are the active inactives. So we knew that Jalen Hurts wasn't going to be in there. And how much does that suck? I mean, you're a Jalen Hurts owner. You're kicking ass the entire season, and then the fantasy semis come, he's out, and now he's out again today. Listen, Gardner Minshew played well, and I think, if you're the Jets, you're a quarterback-needy team next season, he's not the worst option. I think you can get him for probably a 2-year deal, relatively cheap, and he was good. He put up 24 fantasy points. I know he turned it over a lot, but I think that Minshew has starting ability. All right, Palumsky with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Palumsky. I appreciate that very much. Does help with the show. Star 3, Dalvin Cook, Montgomery, Kamara, Algier. I'm definitely starting Algier. I love the matchup for Algier this week. I'm starting Dalvin Cook as well. I would say, oh God, Kamara's been so bad. I'm going to go with Montgomery. I mean, the Saints, the Eagles defense is tough. I'm benching Kamara there. He hasn't really inspired me to want to play him. Montgomery I'm playing because it's a high point total there. Dalvin Cook, definitely. Algier has a great matchup. You talk about a guy who can help bring it home this weekend. That's Algier. KC Jacks or Atlanta going against third string QB. That Atlanta defense still sucks. I'm playing KC myself. So I have KC against Denver in my league. I'm rolling with them. The Jags in Atlanta really haven't been that great this season. The Chiefs, on the other hand, have been putting up decent performances of late. So I'm going to go with Kansas City, Palumsky. But thank you again for that $4.99 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You've been very supportive. Start 2, Walker, Kamara, Algier. Definitely Algier for the reasons why I just said. And you're welcome, Palumsky. Aladdin, I'm going to go definitely with Algier. I think Algier is a top 12 guy this week. I really feel strongly about him. Kamara or Walker is tough. I would say Kamara because he's going to catch passes. You try to avoid the Jets defense as much as you can. They are legit. I'm starting both Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Hopefully this doesn't backfire against me. Yeah, Aaron, that's tough. And Ravens or Giants D. Giants D, Aladdin. Definitely the Giants D. I think it's a great streaming defense this week. You know me. I love Aaron Jones. The last 2 seasons have been so frustrating. How about that game on Christmas where he barely touched the football, put a major hurting on his owners? It's probably going to be the same arrangement next season. I'm going to look to do better. Jones, I believe, is already 27. He's older than I thought he was. And the thing with Aaron Jones, too, is he is a very hard charging runner. He's constantly nicked up, balls to the wall, love the approach, but it lends itself to a shorter career. And I think Aaron Jones next season is a very scary investment. And this coming from one of his biggest fans because of the wear and tear, all the hits he takes. I'd be very leery of Jones next season. Boss, I'm in the finals. Thanks to you. Oh, that's great, George. Need a wide receiver, kicker, and defense. Mike Evans, Richie James, Hodgins. Hey, listen, Hodgins has been great. I mean, I gave you guys Hodgins last week. I'm going to toot my own horn on that one, pat myself on the back. That was a hell of a call. I made some bad calls, believe me, but that was one of my better ones. He really balled out last week, and I'm going right back to him this week, George. And as far as Gano, Myers or Suck up for kicker, I'm going Gano. Listen, the Giants, they're going to put up points today. Now, defense, Tampa, Atlanta, Detroit, or Arizona. That's Detroit. I think Chicago's going to put up points. I'm going to have to say Tampa. Tampa still gets after the quarterback. Max Crosby or Joey Bosa. Yeah, Zamora, you did ask me this in the comments. I apologize for not getting back to you on this one. I'm going to go Max Crosby. I'm worried about a snap count for Joey Bosa just being used on obvious passing downs. Need one wide receiver with Hopkins out between Slayton, Gage, Moore, Davis, and Bourne. I'd have to say Slayton out of all of them. It's a very good matchup for the Giants offensively. Metcalf or Watson. Metcalf will add him because I don't think Christian Watson's playing. And I think they're going to move him around to get him away from Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner does not follow receivers around the field. It's a very strict arrangement because DJ Reed has been very good himself. They don't move Sauce Gardner around. So if you're worried about Sauce Gardner exclusively on Metcalf, it's not going to happen. Let's see. JT full PPR. What about JT? Adamant. Yeah, his running style is short-term for sure. Yes, he is. He's definitely risky, Aaron Jones. And as much as I love the guy, I'm worried about him long-term. Folk or Gold? I would say that's a tough. I would say Folk. Just because the Pats tend to bog down in the red zone. Rashad White or Pacheco? I'm down on Rashad White. I'm going Pacheco, Ed. And I have Leonard Fournette all queued up this week. And he was great last week. I mean, Leonard Fournette had a ridiculous amount of touches last week, over 20 fantasy points. So playoff Lenny is back. Xavier McKinney active for the Giants today on defense. So again, that Giants defense, they welcomed back Azeez Ojulari, the pass rusher, who's been really good. He's been picking up a sack every game. They welcomed him back a couple of weeks ago. Xavier McKinney, sideline safety, real shutdown guy in the secondary. He's back today. Giants defense, great matchup this week for them. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Zamora. Took all the available QBs off waivers since my opponent had Tua. He's stuck with Bridgewater now, but he has Tyreek Hill, Jefferson, Diggs, Kamara. Yeah, that's a lot, George. Wow, George, it's legal. It's definitely legal to do that, no doubt about it. Somebody did that to me in my other league that I've been since eliminated in when I needed a quarterback to get into the playoffs. I don't know if you remember that. And I wound up getting stuck with Russell Wilson, and that was the only game he played really well in against KC before he got hurt. So it worked out. Ed, Happy New Year to you, and thank you for being a supporter of the channel. And again, guys, once this week is over, stick with me. Wrap-up videos on every key player daily, live streams every week. Still going to have, we might even delve into some regular topics during the offseason, but definitely high on the NFL draft. I'm almost done with the offensive players in my annual draft guide book. That will be coming out sometime at the end of either this month or sometime in February. So make sure you look for that. I will sell it on here also on Amazon. So you can get your copies. Hollywood Brown with D-Hop out or Jahan Dotson? I'm going Dotson. Dotson played well with Carson Wentz. I want no part of the Arizona offense. No way. Not especially with David Blau. Yes, get those likes up. Thank you, Aaron. And the Chip, thanks for telling me to bench D-Hop and play A.J. Dillon. Yes, A.J. Dillon. And listen, A.J. Dillon's got like a little playoff Lenny light to him too. He's been good a couple of Decembers in a row now. Goddard or Andrews? Goddard. Definitely Goddard. Minshew likes Goddard. I'm good with Goddard this week. I think the Detroit Titan will put up points against Zane Zylstra or start Gerald Everett. That's hard. I would go with Everett. I think he's a safer play. So go watch your channel, support you. Yes, Ed, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, always continue to support the channel throughout the offseason because, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of draft stuff. And I don't know if you guys watched those college football games yesterday. That was just wild. TCU, now totally on the map. They're going to rule the Big 12 now that Texas and Oklahoma are departing. Max Duggan, he's got some Taysom Hill to him. He can run. He can throw it a little bit. Going to be a mid-round pick for sure that you can use him in a Taysom Hill-like manner. And C.J. Stroud, who I love at Ohio State, 4 touchdown passes against a Georgia defense chock full of NFL players. He's going to be really good, C.J. Stroud. I'm very interested in him, maybe even as a backup right away next season. I think he's going to go top 3. He could go number 1 overall as well. Higbee or Njoku? Yeah, Higbee's getting a ton of targets. That's tough. I would say Higbee. I mean, he's got a thing going with Baker Mayfield right now. Can't believe I'm asking this, but Ramondre Stevenson with Damian Harris back or Cam Akers, totally a full circle. But yeah, listen, there's no doubt about it. Cam Akers, full circle from the jump. From Thursday night against Buffalo, when he did not start and Darrell Henderson did, Twitter went ape shit, fantasy football, right away, boom, we're right into it. Controversy. he's been, he was benched. He was removed from the team for a few weeks, and now he's back and he's scoring 3 touchdowns a week. I mean, it's just ridiculous. LDOT, I have to say Cam Akers. Why not? He's as hot as a pistol, and they're using him exclusively. So much for the Kyren Williams thing. There's one thing that I definitely missed on in terms of my suggestions. Mike Williams, Rachaad White, Cam Akers. Which one should I start at flex? Also, happy New Year. Oh, thank you, Cactus Jack. Happy New Year to you. Love the name, by the way. I would have to say Mike Williams slightly over Akers. I'm not doing Rachaad White. Not doing Rachaad White at all. So I would say Mike Williams. Wow. So Justin Fields now only slightly ahead of Jared Goff in the poll. I've been wrestling with this all week. Everywhere I look, because that's my option for those who are just tuning in about my quarterback and my championship this week. It's either Justin Fields or Jared Goff. I'm going Fields, just because of the running aspect of it. I know he was bad last week. He's banged up. To lose or win it with Jared Goff is like, that's balls to the wall for sure. Which kicker? Pinheiro, Crosby, Patterson, or Fierce? I like Pinheiro. Pinheiro's been rock solid. I think he's made something like his last 17 field goals. So I'm good with Pinheiro. He's been dependable, very dependable. Tyler Algier, banged up Kenneth Walker. Tyler Algier, LDOT. I love the matchup for Algier. He's one of the biggest in the entire industry. You look at everybody's start sit this week. They got Tyler Algier in this start almost to a man. Juju or Kirk? Juju. I'm going Juju. Chiefs have a lot to play for. The Jaguars have nothing to play for other than maybe sustaining some momentum. Whether they win or lose today has no bearing on next week against Tennessee. Tennessee's already lost, of course, to Dallas. I had to sit and watch Dalton Schultz put up 24 points on my bench because I have Travis Kelce at tight end, and I didn't want to use Schultz at flex when I have Allen Lazard, who I think is going to have a decent day in place of Christian Watson, who may not play, but that may not work out. Gano or Tucker, you always go Justin Tucker because they're going to try really long field goals for him, and I think they'll move the ball all right. Higbee or Njoku, Ed, I'm going Higbee. You think Carr will upset Carolina will upset Tampa Bay? Yeah, they very well could be. That team is playing inspired football right now. They have they believe in Steve Wilkes and what he's selling them. I think that they definitely Tampa Bay really is just not that good. They're just not. So I'm not a believer in Tampa Bay. The offensive line has just been ravaged. They don't inspire a lot of confidence for me. Komet or Njoku, Aladdin. I'm going to go Komet. Love the matchup for Komet. And my opponent has Komet and I have Justin Fields. That's what makes me a little hesitant about starting Fields. But you know how this goes. I bench Justin Fields. He put up 40 fantasy points, or I go, with Fields and Jared Goff's going to throw 4 touchdowns. That's exactly how it's going to go. Evans or Lazard, Lockett. You got a tough choice, Marina, because of the Green Bay game starting at 4. I prefer Lazard. I don't think Watson's going to play, so I'm going to go with Lazard. Thanks for all the great advice. You're welcome, LDOT. You just confirmed I got feeling on Algier. Yes, yeah, definitely. I agree. I'm in lockstep with you on that one. Have a good day. Good luck on you. Yeah, yes, Ed, you good luck on your championship today too. So, and yeah, it's stressful. And for me, my matchup, I have T. Higgins going Monday night. So my matchup won't be decided, or it could be if guys do nothing today, because my opponent has Josh Allen and Joe Mixon Monday. So I figure I have to be up by 30 points going into the Monday night game. If I'm up 30 with Higgins and he's got Allen and Mixon, I think I have a chance because, for Allen, baseline is about 30 points. So that's how I look at it. Here's to week 18. Oh, God. Yeah, I know you got that week 18 thing going. I'm not covering week 18. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. There's no week 18 in my book in fantasy football. Another $1.99 chat from Polumsky. Thank you, Polumsky. I really appreciate that. Big question. Nick Chubb or Algier? Algier. I'm going Algier. This is one of these tough decisions you just got to make. It's a great matchup for Algier. He has a tremendous matchup. Chubb has been bad lately. Watson's not helping. They're stacking the box. He looks tired. Algier is actually catching the ball now, too. Desmond Ridder is checking it down to Algier, whereas Marcus Mariota wasn't doing that. So, Polumsky, thank you again for another super chat. Thank you. But I'm going with Algier 100%. So, he's a great play, and I'm going against Algier this week too. So, Right now, I'm slightly favored. I'm favored to win by 2 points. Now, my opponent had Dallas Cowboys defense, and I think he got 13 points out of that, which ironically was a defense I dropped weeks ago. So, like shit like that, though, that just drives me crazy. It's gonna come. It already did come back to bite me there, but I'm just hoping for the best. I got T. Higgins queued up today. I got Devontae Smith coming off that monster game last week. I got him queued up today. I got Alan Lazard in my flex. I got Chris Godwin at wide receiver. I got Ramondre Stevenson and Leonard Fournette at running back. And I got Travis Kelce at tight end. So, and KC defense. So if I lose, I lose. My opponent's got Josh Allen, so he's got the advantage there. His receivers, let me see. His receivers are Christian Kirk, solid. He's got Justin Jefferson, monster, and he's got Jerry Jeudy, who has a good matchup. His running backs are Joe Mixon and Tyler Algier, solid, and he's got Cole Kmet at tight end and James Conner at running back. Honestly, even though I'm favored to win by 2, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this off. I think his team is better. He's got better matchups. And here's the kicker, guys. The best part about all this, my opponent. So this is a friends and family league I've been doing for over 20 years. My opponent today is my father. My father is my opponent. So we've already agreed to split the pot evenly. And then there's an extra 100 left over. An extra 50 left over. The winner will get that extra 50. So yes, I'm playing my father today as my opponent in my friends and family league that I've been doing for 20 years. And, those are the best leagues. I know a lot of people do leagues at work and stuff, and that's fun too. But when you have a friends and family league, there's nothing better. You could talk shit the entire offseason at the Thanksgiving table, the Christmas table, Easter, whatever. There's nothing better than a friends and family league, in my opinion. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years, and it keeps everybody in touch. That's the best part too. Friends that you may not see anymore, they live out of state, whatever. If you do a fantasy league, you're going to be in touch with each other. And, that I think that's one of the great things about fantasy sports, is that, it's a medium to keep people in touch. All right. In this particular league I'm talking about, I have friends going back to college that are in the league that I really don't see much anymore, but we talk and chat and FaceTime because of fantasy football. So I think it's just a great medium for that. Aaron, Wow is right. My father. So, and the thing is too, I have 4 league titles in the 20 years, which is the most in the league. He's got 3. So if he wins, he ties me for all-time titles. So there's a lot of bragging rights at stake. Metcalf or Garrett Wilson? I'm definitely going Garrett Wilson. 100% Garrett Wilson. Mike White is back. Mike freaking White with Garrett Wilson creating sweet passing music. It's going to be really good. Garrett Wilson has been phenomenal with Mike White. It's going to be awesome today for him. Yes, playing my father. I mean, I will never hear the end of it. He's already talking crap about having Dallas, the defense that I dropped weeks ago, playing against high school friends. Yeah, and that's the thing too, like high school friends too. I have some high school friends in this. I have a friend of mine, best man at my wedding, I've known since I was 3 years old. He's in the league too. And it's just awesome that's how it works. Now, listen, it's a frustrating game. I get it. Anybody who's played like fantasy baseball, it's not really that stressful because over 162 games in 6 months, the luck factor is very minimal. In fantasy football, 17 weeks, 17 games, there is a ton of luck involved that you just can't control, and it leads to a lot of freaking frustration. I hate it sometimes. It's like you every single one of us at some point has said during the season, I'm not playing anymore. I'm not doing this. It's too stressful. We've all been there. Lord knows I have. I threw a remote this year. So, it gets to me too, here it's not Mike White. It's the Traversa, I think. What do you mean by that, Polumsky? I'm not sure I follow you there. It can be very, very frustrating for sure. Are you talking about the 4th string quarterback? It's definitely Mike White starting, but they have I know who you're talking about. What's his Strebler? I think his name is Strebler. Yeah, so he's active. I guess Zach Wilson is not And God, he just sucks at football, Zach Wilson. He is so fucking bad. It's unbelievable. Like I know I sound like a broken record, but he is just god awful. He is so bad. He shouldn't even be in the NFL right now. That's how bad he is. And he's an embarrassment. The whole shenanigan with his mom's friend and his girlfriend, the social media stuff. I mean, he's just got to go away. Kamara or McKinnon. Listen, you got to ride McKinnon all the way. I was dead wrong telling you not to go back to him a couple of weeks ago after that big game. I didn't think he was going to be able to sustain it, but you definitely have to ride out Jerick McKinnon the rest of the season. No doubt, 100%. So, guys, also, yes, there's going to be a wrap-up stream tonight. There has to be a wrap-up stream tonight because I want to hear how well you guys did in your championship. I know we have the Monday night game and a Sunday night game. I don't think a lot of people are going to have a lot of the Sunday night players. Certainly Monday night is a blockbuster. Most leagues probably won't be decided by the end of the 4:00 games, but I'm going to do the wrap up. Want to hear how you did. Hopefully I have some good news on my team as well. Devontae Smith or Waddle. Casey, definitely Devontae Smith. I have Devontae Smith myself. Who's getting peppered with targets from David Blau? Nobody. The other team. How about that, Polumsky? The other team's getting peppered with targets with David Blau. You know, the Falcons, not Hollywood Brown. And you know the thing too with Hollywood Brown, I'm really into him next season with Kyler Murray back. But the thing too with Kyler Murray, and you remember I did this video about week 8 or week 9. I told you to sell high on Kyler Murray because every single season he gets hurt or wears down. The numbers go into the toilet. He never sustains his first half performance because he's small. Now he probably is not even going to be ready for week 1. There's a lot of key players next season that are not going to be ready for week 1. I don't think that Breece Hall is going to be ready for week 1. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be ready for week 1. You know, and the thing too with Breece Hall coming off such a devastating injury, usually it takes a full season to get back to optimum health. So as much as I love Breece Hall, the player, I'm going to be a little leery of him unless he really drops in drafts next season. I've already told you, Ramondre Stevenson, as bad as he's been the last couple of weeks, take away that 170-yard game the preceding weeks, and then last week he's been bad. I'm fully back in on him next season. Brian Robinson, the Commanders, I love him. Bijan Robinson from Texans. I usually don't go with rookie running backs. That is the one rookie running back. Basically, he's the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. And Barkley, we all knew was going to be a stud right out of the gate. He was that, and more as a rookie. He's still chasing those rookie numbers, actually. That's what Bijan Robinson from Texas is going to be as a rookie. The hype's going to be insane for this guy next season for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. Just about 12 o'clock. So good luck today. Good luck. Bring it home, guys. I hope you win. Let's all do this. Hopefully later on in the live stream this afternoon, rather this evening, we have some good news to share. So good luck today. Enjoy the games. Bring home the title. I will see you all a little bit later. Take care, guys.